Thank you so much for joining us today for an exciting Celestial Cruises webinar. My name is Anna. I'm an Industry Relations Specialist here at CLIA, and I'm going to quickly just go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. This webinar will run about 25 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the chat module of the webinar, and we'll get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce our presenter, Gordon Dirker. Born and educated in the Netherlands, Gordon has enjoyed an extensive career in the travel industry. Prior to being appointed VP of Business Development Americas for Celestyal Cruises in January 2018, Gordon spent nearly 18 years working for the Travel Corporation. This was followed by nearly 4 years with the Norway-based expedition, cruise, and ferry line Hurtigruten. He started as a BDM for Kontiki Holidays based in Baltimore, Maryland, and after 1 year, Gordon was promoted and moved to London to lead their sales and marketing efforts in the UK and Europe. This was followed by a move back to LA, where he spent 6 years at Brendan Vacations in a similar senior role. He left the Travel Corporation to become the regional VP for the USA and Canada with Hurtigruten. Gordon is married and resides in Seattle, and in his free time, he likes to ski, hike, and explore the Eastern Mediterranean. With that, take it away, Gordon.
Thank you for that introduction, and thank you everybody for joining us today. I will try my best to keep it to 25 minutes and then obviously allow some time afterwards for Q&A, because many of you I know, having sort of looked around and being at the CLIA 360s and all the trade shows and events that we do, are not that familiar with our company. So I want to sort of take this opportunity to highlight who we are and also talk a little bit more about what type of customers you need to be looking for when you want to offer and sell a Celestial Cruise, because we're a little bit different. And without further ado, let me get into the webinar. So here's my image along with my cell phone and my email details. If we can't get to your questions during this webinar, then feel free to reach out to me. And I also understand that I will get a list of questions so we can reach out to you after. So I'll leave this up here for just a minute so you can take down my details, but it's g.dirker@celestialcruises.com. And then my cell phone is a Miami number, as you can see, which is 305-607-2339. So to cruise or to travel is our theme today, and I want to sort of use this opportunity to sort of highlight a few differences between what we believe are travelers and cruisers. So first question you need to ask if you sort of qualify somebody for a trip, in particular with us, is, what is it that excites you as a traveler or as a customer? When you speak to your customers, what is it that they are looking for when they're hopping on a ship potentially? Is it the amenities such as the amazing casinos? Is it the the facilities on board that allow you to do the crazy stuff like you see here? Do you like to go car racing on a cruise deck? Or perhaps, you want to have an Italian dinner, but in the comfort of the ship. Or do you like private islands where, you have very few interactions with locals? By the way, I'm not saying that any of these items are wrong. These are all things that you obviously, qualify your customer for. It's to do with choices. But it is important to understand that there is a difference between cruising and traveling. And, some customers, as we know, see the ship as the destination, and the ship is doing everything and anything possible to make their wishes and dreams come true, being the destination. Because what they're looking for is obviously that customers spend as much money and time on board. Now, I was recently on a panel actually organized by CLIA at the New York Times show, and one of my esteemed colleagues like to refer to land experience as a blend experience. And that, again, speaks to the fact that they love to keep the customer happy on board, and they do a fantastic job doing so. Celestial is a little bit different. We tend to sort of actually usher our people on shore to make sure that they have a wonderful time exploring. So is land blend is the big question we like to ask, especially when you consider on a cruise with us, you get to see places like this. This is Milos in Greece, one of these sort of undiscovered islands, which is part of the Cyclades. It's not far from Mykonos and Santorini, the world famous places that everybody stops. But Milos is one of those wonderful places where we spend nearly a day on shore to explore. Or how about Rhodes, the medieval castles that you see there that was built by the Phoenicians? What about Egypt and the pyramids? You know, these are all places that require you to get off the ship in order to actually see them properly. And you want to meet the locals. You want to see the local fishermen in Greece in action, mending their nets. Perhaps you want to have an authentic Greek taverna experience and enjoy some of that lovely sun-dried octopus with a glass of ouzo. If these are the things that your customers like, then those are the type of customers we tend to cater to. This is another shot of Milos, which is one of those incredible sights. The rock formations there, and then the blue ocean, the Aegean Sea there is absolutely stunning. And of course, you know, you want to shake hands with a local Greek, perhaps mingle in a conversation. And the Greeks love politics, just like we do in our country at the moment, it seems. So a wonderful opportunity to sort of get involved and discuss things there. Meteora, which is a famous site where the beautiful monasteries are perched on top of these rock formations. You know, it's another place where literally you need to spend almost a day off the ship in order to see what's going on. What about the bazaar in Istanbul? You know, the most insane variation of herbs and spices that you can smell and test and try, and of course, you know, shop for. Or just chill with a kitty cat in Santorini, look at the sunset and see life go by. So if these ring a bell, the following, we like to, for example, travel with a purpose and immerse ourselves. We like to explore. We like to meet and hang with the locals, enjoy the local cuisine. We traveled many places and have a love for history and learning. We love seeing new things. We watch travel, nature, and cooking shows on TV. Then you may have actually found yourself a proper traveler. And Celestyal fits in quite nicely with that mindset. So let me talk a bit more about Celestyal Cruises and how you can match up the customers that we believe enjoy traveling with us. So where do we fit in? First of all, we are the preeminent home porting cruise operator in Greece. We have 2 ships, mid-size, and we operate 3, 4, and 7-night all-inclusive award-winning cruises. And when I say all-inclusive, I have to sort of highlight what that means. It means all your drinks throughout the day, including alcoholic beverages, and you'll get 4 meals. And of course, on the 7-night voyages, we include 3 shore excursions, and on the shore to 3 and 4, we include 2 excursions. So ample opportunity to actually explore. And we like to say that we deliver premium experiences at great value. The average booking value for us on a 7-night cruise is around $2,400 per person. And that's, again, all-inclusive. And by the way, did I mention that you don't have to tip either, because that's taken care of as well. So it's quite nice as you check out from the ship that your bill basically says 0, unless you had a spa experience, which may be 50 or 100 euros, depending on the activity you chose to partake in. But we explore Greece, the Greek islands, Egypt, Israel, Turkey, and Cyprus. So we're quite unique in that respect, because every single one of our voyages, for the most part, departs from Athens. We have embarkation in Istanbul and also in Ashdod in Israel, but for the most part, you know, we're quite heavy in that very corner of the world. So our tagline or slogan is "See More," and as you can see, it's obviously spelled slightly different, but it speaks to the fact that we want you to explore. We want you to discover hidden gems. We want you to feel the culture and the heritage of the destination. Obviously, we want you to have a good time on board, so we have, you know, a good knack for throwing a good Greek party. Enjoy wonderful music, and of course we have shows on board as well. And we want you to taste the fresh local ingredients and of course the wines that are available. And Greek wines are fantastic. We do offer international selections as well, but I highly recommend that you get your lips on the glass of wonderful Greek wine. So the all-inclusive experience, I already spoke to this more or less, but what it includes is a comfortable stay on board, all of your meals, unlimited drinks, selected shore excursions, the entertainment, port charges, and the gratuities. So it's very nice, like I said, to know that when you check out from the ship that you're not going to be hit with a massive bill afterwards. And this actually sort of explains also why it is important for us to get our people on shore. So commercially, you know, I'm being a bit cheeky here, but if customers stay on board the ship and have unlimited drinking opportunities, they could be costly to us, especially if they come from certain parts of the world where alcoholic beverages are enjoyed a lot. So for us, there's actually a commercial interest to get people going and to get them off the ship to enjoy the local experience. Our customers do like what we do, though. We picked up some wonderful cruise critic awards. The best one, best mid-size ship in value, and customers really enjoy also our shore excursions. We also were runners-up for best in service and also for entertainment. So a little boasting, we're quite proud of what we achieve on our ships. The crew in general are international, although the officers are for the most part Greek or from the Mediterranean. So you enjoy that sort of Mediterranean Greek hospitality while cruising with us. So what about our travelers? We sort of established that, we are not necessarily for cruisers, people that want to enjoy just what the ship has to offer. We're about travelers. So it's quite broad, actually. The people that we cater to can easily be qualified in pretty much every category. We cater to millennials, Generation X, and of course, boomers. They're quite highly educated. They've traveled quite a bit. They are very keen to explore destinations, and they like to sort of be in touch and sort of exposed to culture. We also cater to a lot of people with Greek blood. As you know, there's a lot of immigrants in the United States, and there's quite a few of those that consider themselves Greek, and they like to go and trace their roots. So we get a lot of these guys on our ships. Then we also, in the off-season in particular, have a lot of religious and other affinity groups. And that's because, of course, if you look at Israel and Patmos, where, you have all these religious events that took place thousands of years ago, it's by definition that we're interesting to those travelers. We have a lot of cruisers that like to travel, and also cater to a lot of new to cruise. So this is kind of like a bridge product for you also to get customers that are sort of hesitant to go on a cruise ship, to experience the benefits of being on a ship, the unpacking ones, all the sort of standard USPs that we're all used to sharing. And then we know that our customers enjoy watching TV shows on PBS, CBS, BBC. They're quite well informed and sort of have a very broad look at the world. They've seen the Eiffel Tower multiple times and just like to go in depth and discover destinations. So these are all the countries and places that we visit. I've sort of highlighted them already, but these are the ports of call. So as you can see, we are heavy in the Greek area, but we also go to Istanbul, Çanakkale, which is famous for the Trojan horse. And there's a wonderful new museum right there. Volos is the port that you want to go to if you want to go and see Meteora, where those famous monasteries are. Limassol, Cyprus, that's still very undiscovered by Americans. Europeans travel to Cyprus quite a bit, but that's another port of call that is kind of, for the early adapters, if you like. And then we go to Alexandria, Port Said, but what we do there actually is we allow customers, we take them on an included shore excursion to Cairo and see the pyramids. So, and then Ashdod, of course, Israel, which is then the gateway to Bethlehem, Tel Aviv, and all these wonderful places there. We actually allow customers to embark in Ashdod as well, so you can do pre and post traveling in Israel, explore the wonderful history of that amazing country. So just quickly a run through the fleet and our itineraries in the Eastern Mediterranean. So the Eclectic Aegean is one of our 7-night cruises. It runs pretty much from April and then into November. And that actually is quite an extended season. So it's one of those voyages that is quite popular because it allows you to explore history, culture, and all sorts of wonderful things that, and I should actually correct myself here. It runs from October and then into the first quarter of the new year. But it allows you to explore some of the most beautiful parts of the world. And when you look at the dates that we sail, it's actually not going to be that hot. So again, it speaks to the culture seekers, people that want to get off the ship and spend time exploring. The 3 continents, that's a new itinerary, although it's one that we've operated in the past, going to Greece, Egypt, Cyprus, and Turkey. I highlighted it before. Starting in Athens and ending in Athens, but you actually have the option to also do a 7-night out of Ashdod in Israel. And this one also operates, as you can see, sort of over the winter period, and it's the best time to be in Egypt, where the pyramids are not, overrun by tourists, and it's also not that hot. The 3 and the 4 night cruises are also very popular. These are in particular popular with those that like to explore the land side. These are often combined by our travel agents when customers say go to Italy. They do an Italy trip and then they do a quick island hopper of 3-4 nights of the Greek islands. And the itinerary actually allows you to sample quite nicely some of the main and most famous islands, along with some of the lesser known ones. These are also actually the ones that a lot of the tour operator friends that we work with include in their programs. And this is sort of where our history has been. We've worked very closely with some of the largest tour companies, such as Trafalgar, Globus, Insight, Colette, you name it. All these guys, if you go into their brochures and look at their Greece itineraries, for the most part, they feature our cruises there. Very big difference in the experience is in the fact that these are then motor coach tours, so group tours. But in the end, you know, it sort of speaks so well to what I was trying to explain earlier, that these are all kind of customers that like seeing and doing things, immersing themselves. And that's why these tour companies have opted to work with us. So the ship, the Crystal, she is the vessel that operates our 7-nighters, and she is a wonderful vessel. She is mid-size. She can take up to 1,200, but we're very, very friendly to single travelers. Sometimes we waive the single supplement, especially in the off-season, and then in general, our single supplement is only about 25, as much as, or up to 30%. So not all cabins are occupied, and therefore we tend to sail with between 800 and 900 passengers on average when we explore the Greek islands. And then the Olympia is our vessel of choice when we operate our 3 and 4 nighters around the Greek islands. She's also quite comfortable. We sail on average, I would say, with between 12 and up to 1,400 passengers. So we have 724 staterooms, and this, in today's world, makes both of our vessels sort of medium to mid-size when it comes to cruising. They're comfortable ships. They've obviously been renovated and fixed. We actually, on the Crystal at the moment, doing a complete refurbishment on all the upscale staterooms, the suites, and the higher-end cabins. And she will be ready, therefore, for the launch of our summer season in Greece. And the balcony cabins, as you can imagine, we have approximately 60 of them, tend to sell the most. Now, Greece overall, and the destination or the region itself, has seen a massive rebound. Over the last 5 years, 6 years, the arrival numbers in Greece have almost doubled. Last year, they reported well over 30 million arrivals, of which about 1 million come from the North American market, which is great news because that means opportunities for all of us. Our ships, however, do end up filling up for that very reason. Greece has rebounded. The economy is looking much better than it did a few years ago. So it is, it's good news for us as a Greek company, and it's obviously good news for all of us that people are traveling to this lovely destination in droves again. So what is in it for you? That's a different kind of Wi-Fi, I suppose. It's an easy sell. The all-inclusive cruise message for you as an agent is, of course, very easy to understand and also very easy to relay. And when I say all-inclusive, it pretty much is. And the drinks are not, we have Stoli if customers like vodka. We feature Campari if customers like that kind of drink. And they're all premium brands. We do have, of course, local Greek beer on the ship. And it literally is all you would like to drink. And for those of you, and I bet that's most of you in the audience that travel to Europe, you know that drinks like Coca-Cola, etc., are actually more expensive than most of the alcoholic beverages that we serve. And but so for young travelers, the premium value of the all-inclusive experience is just as relevant. And by the way, the drinking age in Greece is 18, which is why, you know, we get a lot of students obviously enjoying the Greek islands like adult travelers do. Now, the commissions we pay are quite good too. If we're not preferred, and we do have quite a few preferred partnerships out there, but if we're not preferred with your agency, we actually have a base commission that starts at 12%. And we have 4 BDMs in the country who would be more than happy to speak to you if you believe that there's huge opportunities to grow business together to enhance that further. but your average sort of takeaway will be about $400 to $600 per stateroom that you sell, and that's per person. We do actually pay you commission at the same level on additional shore eggs. Like I said, we have 2 and 3 excursions included depending on the length of the voyages, and these are commissionable and pre-bookable, which we highly recommend because they do sell out. We have a US call center, which is based in Northern America. Our offices are in Miami, so we have local services that can help you out make these bookings, but we also feature an agent portal where you can book online, check inventory, and all you need to do is get yourself registered, which is very easily done when you go to celestialcruises.com. Group and charter opportunities, of course, we're happy to look after your groups, especially in the off season where, like I said, we get a lot of religious groups or Greek heritage or university groups that want to explore antiquities, etc. And like I mentioned, we have the regional, national sales and marketing support. And if you do want to experience and sample our product, we highly encourage you to do so. And we give 60% of our voyages. So that makes it extremely good value for you. So with that said, I'm getting close to my 25 minutes and want to highlight one final item that is also important. We have a Facebook group where you can register and join like-minded travel agents who are keen also to share their experiences, have questions, etc. And this is where you can sign up for that. It's the Celestial Cruises Agent Talk-Americas. And we have hundreds of travel agents already there, and our BDMs are encouraged to mingle. So if you have questions, you can use that sort of as a marketplace, if you like, to get to know more about our product. So with that said, I am literally almost at my 25. One thing I want you to remember out of this little presentation is that Celestial Cruises are the ultimate way to explore the Greek islands, as well as Egypt, Israel, and Turkey, and that we are very, very good as an opportunity for people that like to travel. And a lot of our customers will have traveled, let's say, on river cruises. They will have been on escorted tours, but also quite a few have traveled on sort of your traditional cruises that explore the Mediterranean, etc., etc. So with that said, our contact information is right here, our 800 or toll-free number, our website details. I want to thank you for listening, and Anna, if we can open the mic for some Q&A.
Sure, thank you so much for that. We do have some questions coming in, and I invite everyone to keep them coming in as we do have a little bit of time left. Our first question is from Carolyn, who is going to be in Europe in July and is wondering if you offer agent experience opportunities.
Like just visiting our ship?
I assume
coming on board for the day? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So just needs to reach out to me or to one of our BDMs, and we can absolutely have you on board to check it out, so to speak. If you're on one of the islands and our ships happen to be in port, we can arrange for you to transfer and tender on board or walk on board, depending on where you are.
Okay, perfect. Our next question is from Christy, who I know you touched on this. Do you have an academy for travel agents, and do you offer travel agent rates?
Yeah, so we do offer travel agent rates, which is the 80/60 that I highlighted. So that's 60% off. And of course, depending on the availability, but we often make room for you guys. And then the academy is forthcoming. That's still in the works. We actually just established our US sales unit officially about 2 years ago in the US. Prior to us being here, we always were sort of represented by a GSA. So the company's been around for over 30 years, but we have taken full ownership of our distribution in the US. So a lot of changes, and that also speaks to the fact that we've just hired 3 new BDMs. So we're all here to help you be successful.
Okay, perfect. Our next question is from Veronique, who is wondering if there is literature or videos available on Celestial Cruises on your website to utilize when doing client and group presentations.
Yes, yes, and yes. And again, we can send you the files if you want to use those for presentations. If you let me know where your region is, I can also get you in touch with your BDM so that we can set up presentations and have them come in and do the work for you.
Okay, perfect. So anyone looking to obtain marketing materials should reach out directly to you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me, and then I'll just obviously do my job. And as the boss, I get to delegate all these questions. No, I'm being silly. We look after you personally. We're not sort of hierarchical, but we're here to help you. So, but it's best that you work obviously directly with your local BDM.
Perfect. Okay, it looks like those are all the questions that we have for now. If anybody has any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me or to Gordon, and I will direct them to him. So feel free to just reach out to Gordon. Thank you so much
Excellent.
Thank you, Gordon, for your time for this presentation, and thank you everyone for joining us. And I do want to remind you that this was recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, which is CLIA Global. So feel free to watch it again or share with your friends. Okay. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.